with your boy Phil, and I got some tasty treats for you guys tonight. I got a clip that you aren't going to see anywhere. I promise you. We're going to start off with a guy that's got to go do pee-pee, and you don't like it. And also, he doesn't like the judge putting those scanners in his head, and he's got to stop, man. And also, somebody's bored with Judge Middleton. And then I got a couple funny clips in between. I'm not going to spoil it. And then Judge Bryant, a softer side. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe. So let's roll, nerds. It's like Christmas. Here we go.
Of course, honestly, right now.
Okay, who are you hiring?
I have a couple I'm talking to.
Have you?
When they come, I'll sign them to the docket.
Okay.
They'll sign them to the docket.
But can you tell me who it is that you've spoken to? Like,
No, sir.
do you not know their names or?
I can't remember. I really can't. All right. So last time I didn't even get to come into court.
Okay, so setup is this guy he's on probation or he's getting locked up for like 10, 20 years. And he is having it out with the public defender. So Judge Martin withdraws him from the case, the public defender, because this guy is promising him that he's going to have a lawyer if he withdraws. And he doesn't want this case to get drawn out anymore with him not having representation.
Y'all didn't even let me come into the courtroom. And then y'all sent back to my cell to come to court today after I bonded out. Last time I walked in the court with him, we were supposed to be talking to a specialist. And then I walked in, we're doing a docket call instead of talking to a specialist. And I don't know, are we at a docket call right now? What are we doing today?
We were at a couple of things. We were at a docket call and then a status on the report for the doctor that you met with.
Right. Well, he's a head shrink. I don't need a head shrink.
I understand.
I'm not crazy.
I know, but that's.
I know you need it for court.
I do need it for court. That's
I need a specialist to evaluate the surveillance, and they lost the phone that was supposed to be introduced in the case.
I know, and Mr. Smith.
Like a little sloppier than I wanted to do, so I want him to get in and reorganize everything.
Okay. And Mr. Smith has brought all that up to the court. And yes, I'd ordered the psychiatrist to interview you to give me a report, and that report has come back. The problem that I'm hearing though is that you and Mr. Schmidt can't, y'all don't have that attorney-client relationship anymore that's healthy to the point where you can communicate to Mr. Schmidt, where he can communicate to you, and that y'all can get on the same page with how to defend your case. So that's what I'm hearing is the concern for you and Mr. Schmidt as an attorney and officer of the court has brought it to my attention that you don't want him anymore. And so he's asking the court to allow him to withdraw as your attorney. And my only question is once I allow Mr. Schmidt to withdraw, then you don't have an attorney. And that concerns me because now you're by yourself and we're supposed to be moving forward with your case and you won't have an attorney representing you. That's why I'm asking, who is it that you're talking to so that I know that you're being represented?
Do you want me to look on my phone?
Do you on your phone, do you have the
My
name?
phone's outside.
No, that's okay. That's okay. So you're telling me that if I allow Mr. Schmidt to withdraw, that you're going to hire an attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Schmidt, then I will reconsider at this time your motion to withdraw as counsel, and the court will grant your motion to withdraw, and you are removed from Mr. Gerard's case at his request.
Thank you.
And I'm doing that, and I'm not appointing counsel for Mr. Gerard at this time. He's been found to be indigent at this time. However, at his request to hire an attorney, I'm not going to appoint you an attorney at this time. I'm instead going to reset your case and give you time to hire your attorney. All right. So we're going to reset the docket call to March 7th. So that's 30 days.
30 days.
That's 30 days. Okay.
And on the reset, we're coming back for a docket call?
We're coming back for a docket call and competency evaluation, all of that.
Okay.
Status on that.
Okay.
But everything that we were set for today we'll discuss again on the 7th.
All right.
All right. Now there's one other, Mr. Smith, that's all. You're excused. The only other issue I have, Mr. Gerard, is that I asked pre-trial release, I asked Mr. Waddell to get a UA sample from you
You
today.
got you a from the car.
And he told me that it's not sufficient, so I'm gonna need you.
No, I just went up there and passed the UA.
I understand. He's reported.
So
Listen,
I bonded out a $10,000 bond.
I understand.
I'm on pre-trial or a PR bond. I don't get that.
You're not on PR bond. You posted a surety bond. And part of your conditions of being on a surety bond is that you're going to be subjected to your analysis exams anytime that I say.
And I just took your analysis exam and passed.
I understand. He says that it's insufficient.
I don't know how to say sufficient. I just went up there and took your analysis and passed.
It doesn't matter what you think. It
Matter of
matters.
fact, I have an EEG board on my head, and I'm gonna send you the video of me passing that UA.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm going to want you to give another one. Okay? If you pass the first one, you'll pass the second one. Okay?
I will send my lawyer up here to see you because I did pass that UA.
Well, your lawyer's supposed
Now, I
to
took
come in
that-
to see me anyway. 'Cause
Yes,
that's part of the
we
deal.
have lawsuits issue because my estate is ruined from y'all locking me up for 8 months.
That's
And I'm
fine.
leaving my doors unlocked, 26 unlocked doors at my estate, and my roof is falling in. And they stole all my cars, stole all my titles, stole all my fucking jewelry out of it. Excuse me, sir.
Drop an
Y'all have
F-bomb.
lawsuits coming from us. Y'all have ruined our state. Your electronic monitoring system has been on for 10 years. 10 years. I can catch it with my EEG board and my security system. I'm a federal testing site. It says Van Zandt County Sheriff's Department and annex buildings signals on my head for 10 years straight. It's annoying. It's a mess. And it's injustice. And I'm suing everybody.
That's fine.
I'm suing from the top down. So
That's fine.
you can do our little authority and all that. Get that electronic monitoring system off my head. Quit talking into my skull with that B2K, whatever y'all call it. Got me?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
clear.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That's what the auditory hallucinations and the little expert stuff is amounting to. I'm not crazy. I have
Understand.
that surveillance.
Understand. And no one's saying that you're crazy.
Yes.
No one's
Yeah,
saying
okay.
that. I'm just saying that I
I'm
need,
gonna send you the video,
okay,
but I'm really gonna show you in court when I see you.
that's fine.
Get it off my head, please.
I will. That's fine. Listen, I need you to take the other test. And so,
I need you to get the electronic monitoring system from Van Zandt County Sheriff's Department and it's been off my head.
but you gotta
Can you
give,
tell her?
you gotta go give, are you gonna give me a
You
test,
need to get that one, get it off my head.
Mr.
You
George?
need to get the one for the electronic monitoring system, get it off my head.
Mr. George, listen,
Yes, sir.
are you gonna give me another test?
Yes, sir. I will give you another test. Thank you.
Okay,
Do I have anything to sign?
no, not right now.
Okay.
Step out.
Electronic monitoring, so we have tasks. Electronic monitoring is in the Van Zandt County Sheriff's Department annex building, off Robert Garage Head.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Go outside and see Mr. Waddell.
Thank you.
Give me that test and then come back in and have a seat, okay?
What do you mean I need us?
Because I haven't done your resetting, we haven't done your date. I gotta give you all that to sign.
I'm 67 years old. She's been sitting here for 10 hours.
10
I
hours.
think she's missing.
Mr. Waddell, can you bring Mr. Waddell and tell me why it's insufficient?
10 hours. He
Can you
said.
tell me why it's insufficient? Because I peed and he said it was good.
Understand? I'm telling you, I want you to give another one because I believe it to be insufficient, okay?
Okay, listen, Mr. Waddell, it's insufficient on my test. Because you said it was a good step. I don't believe you.
I don't believe
It was my urine. I peed right in front of us.
I don't believe
I
you.
peed right in front of you. You handed me the cup, you took the cup out, I peed right in front of you.
See.
No, you were standing right here, listen, no, see, that is.
Listen, and listen,
You were standing right beside
Mr. Gerard,
me.
Mr. Gerard, listen, Mr. Waddell, Mr. Gerard,
I feel like you're
listen,
Are you trying to lock me up?
not trying to lock you up. I want you to give a number.
You should consider my surveillance because you have that electronic monitoring system from his office for 10 years straight. Like, Van Zandt County Sheriff Department, is that right beside the adult probation office? Is that the building right beside the adult probation? Yes.
Look at the judge. He took his glasses. Oh, 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 come on. Oh.
All right, so that thing's been on my head for 10 years.
Sweet Jesus.
Get it off my head. Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Gerard, go with Mr.
So
Waddell.
that's it. You get your warrant right if you're gonna stalk me around the world and ruin my house.
Mr. Gerard, I want you to go give him another urine sample, okay?
Oh, he definitely dumped pee in a cup.
Chad. Chad.
Watch what he says. Go with him. Go with him. Crazy fuck. Guess what, nerds? I have part 2 when he comes back from the pee-pee test. Okay, now this is before they mic'd it up again. So he comes back. All right, we go.
I don't want, listen,
I want to go on record. Are we missing the first?
we're on record, listen.
We're on record.
No,
So
no, stay right there.
on the first test, where's the first test? The urine sample.
The first,
I want to see the first test.
the first test has been deemed invalid by this court, and I'm
I want to
asking
see it invalid. By the-
you're
I
not,
didn't get to see it.
you're not
I
gonna,
didn't get to see it. And I didn't sign for it.
I'm not using that against you.
Because he told me before I walked out the door it was good.
Here's the bottom line. I don't want you to address them anymore.
All right, so what do you-
Listen, listen. What we're doing with you is this is
All
what,
right, so
this,
back to jail.
you're about to go back to jail right now if you don't calm down and let me talk to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no more talking.
Because I
Listen, no more talking.
smoked the joint.
No more talking.
I'm about to smoke. I smoked the joint. I'm about to piss in that company. It's going to say I smoked a joint. And I smoked a joint. Who gives a fuck what I smoke? If that
I
makes
care. I
All
care.
right, so how many years tests do I get? Do I get 1 or 2?
You get 0.
0? Let's go to fucking jail. Because I want to see the other cup that was good. That was good. I'm not about to kiss again. You got a hot thing on there.
I can't.
Where's the first test?
Mama, where's my test, Mama?
I
Mama,
want to see the first. I don't care. If you just
Mama's
trying
pee-pee.
to lock me up. I want to see the first test. I'm not giving you a second. Where's the first one? Something about the gym. No, where's the first? What's the first? Look at me. What's the first one? Is he supposed to keep it to the back and send it to the left? Aren't you supposed to send that to the left? That's wrong. Yes, you're supposed to send that to the left.
Listen.
So I give you another. Let's go to the 10.
All right.
Thank you.
All right,
So
listen.
you got it to the 10.
All right, let the record reflect that Mr. Gerard is refusing to give the court another urinalysis upon being ordered.
It's a good dollar. I got a real dollar.
The court's going to find him to be a violation of this condition of criminal release for failure to provide the urinalysis. The court's going to order him in custody at this time.
So what's my bond? If you don't mind me asking.
I'll determine that once you're in custody.
Can I have a bond?
When you get to the jail, I'll have a bond.
It's bullshit. You got my, I ain't got a lawyer, man. I don't got a lawyer.
I know.
I don't know if I got.
he never pee-peed.
You need to know.
You gotta talk to your mom.
Here, Jane, look, I'm supposed to-
My mama's 67 years old. She's out there for 10
I'll
hours.
send over the notice of appearance, and I'll send an order of commitment.
Guess what? I have another one from this court case. This came right after this. Let's roll it, nerds. Let's roll it, nerds. Poor Judge Martin had some winners. All right, so right before we take a look at that guy, Mr. Joe Cool in the back. He's going to get a mouthful. Look, Judge just knows. He's like, oh, God, this guy again. Oh, my God. Oh, this guy wears his emotions on his face. That's why I like Judge Martin. I had a funny feeling today. I was like, today's going to be a day. I saw when I saw the thumbnail of his personal meeting room, I said,
All right, Mr. Mitchell,
look at that crowd.
this is sanctions court hearing. Dating Robert Mitchell, CR 21403.
This guy
All right,
was
Mr. Mitchell, my notes say that you were positive for THC in July 8th of 22. That's quite some time ago. It says your levels are not decreasing. It means that you're continuously smoking marijuana. So I had you UA today, and you admitted to smoking on January 13th. Also show that you're on 3rd degree deferred probation for prohibited substance or item in a correctional facility, 3rd degree felony, 2 to 10. You got put on in May. You haven't worked any of your community service, 0 hours, and you're smoking weed. All that true?
No,
What's not true?
I don't continuously smoke weed. I was getting tested every time I come in.
Do you have a gum in your mouth? Go find a trash can and spit that out.
Uno momento, por favor.
What is happening to our society? It just keeps getting worse and worse. It says it in the Bible. I mean, I don't know why.
I love
All
Judge
right,
Moore.
finish what you were saying.
It's my boy.
My probation officer told me that the levels were decreasing. She said that it might take some time to lead off. Then I got sanctioned or whatever, because they weren't coming out. But
They're not decreasing because you're still smoking weed. You admitted that you smoked a couple of weeks ago.
I said that because he asked me, just say the last time that you would have been at the office, you would have been tested. So I told him the last time I was at probation. Wasn't admitting that I smoked that day. I wasn't trying to say that at all. I was just, he said, Mark, the last day you was at probation.
What the hell are you talking about?
I couldn't tell you the last day. Because I don't smoke marijuana.
It says, I, Kate Nard Mitchell, acknowledge that I have recently, on or about January 13th, consumed by smoking marijuana.
Dude, he smoked this morning.
Why would you sign that if you didn't smoke marijuana on January 13th?
Because clearly the test was negative, so you sign, I had to sign. If I don't sign it, then I don't understand that.
What do you mean the test was negative? You didn't take,
I mean, positive.
okay, I'm about to say, because you didn't take the test, you just admitted.
What is going on?
It's just so serious. Just to
Will you get Mr. Waddell? Because I'm thoroughly confused right now. And I didn't smoke weed. Why aren't you doing your community service?
I only get a weekend in. I'm out a whole month.
For what? For your job?
Yes,
What do you do?
I work the radio.
Mr. Waddell, Mr. Mitchell says that he hasn't smoked marijuana and that you told him just to write down on here the date that he most recently checked into probation and that he's not.
Mr. Wydell's the pee-pee man.
Despite what this says, can you clear that up for me?
I asked Dave when the last time he used marijuana, and I showed him my phone, it's a day. And that was the day.
Just went,
He said that you told him just to write down the last time that he was in your office or checking in for probation, and it was that day. But he could honestly tell me when he smoked marijuana.
he doesn't
That's
even
not what
know.
he told you.
That's not my line of questioning, sir.
So, Mr. Mitchell, what are we going to do?
What are my options?
Let's see, first option is go to prison for up to 10 years. You want that one?
No,
Okay. Second option is do what you're supposed to do on probation or go to prison. You want that one? Do what you're supposed to do on probation or go to prison. That's option 2. You want that one?
He
Guess what?
doesn't
I'm
know.
already giving you that one. You're already on option 2. You're supposed to be on probation, doing stuff to keep you out of prison. But you're not. You're not doing your community service and you're smoking weed.
I pay everything up to date. I keep up with everything. I'm in my class every time, every weekend with Chuck, whatever. I'm there. And I'm up to my neck in water just being here every weekend, pulling from the rig every Friday. Just to be up here Saturday and Sunday. I don't have the time for community service because I'm in class every weekend. From 6 to 9, from 12 to noon, or from 12 to 9, you know, or 9 to 12 or whatever. So I'm working those doubles. I talked to Carl about it. If, you know, welding, I can, you know, certified welder, I got excavators, I can go do whatever, you know, they like whatever I do to pick up 10 hours for community service. I'm putting it out there. I'm trying. I mean, don't ever miss a meeting. I'm always at probation. I'm always there. I'm always pissing. I'm always like.
That's good, because that's what you have to do. You act like you should get a medal because you're working hard and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, except that you're not doing everything. What do you think would happen if I told my wife, you know what, I go to my kids' award ceremony at school, and I go and I coach their baseball team, and I go to their basketball team, and I tuck them in, and I love them, but you know what, I ain't got time to put food on the table. You think I'd be a good dad? Because I'm not doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be putting food on the table, right? But I do all these other things. I really ain't got time to go to work, make money. I do all these other things. You have responsibilities. And one of these is you got to do your community service. You can't say, I'm doing really well on these 6, but these 2 right here, the marijuana thing's hard for me, and the probation's hard for me.
I still have another year for 200 hours. I bust that out. Like you said, an hour at first money, 50 hours. It's 4 weekends I work. I'm done over.
Why would I believe that? You've done 0 since May of 22. You're going on 1. You're about to be at 1 year with 0 work, and you're like, hey, I can knock that out anytime I want. I know you're proving my point. 4 weekends, and you wouldn't even be here except for the marijuana. I would see right here that you should have had already done. I mean, May, and you do 10. So let's say that you're at 9 months, and you should have already done 90 hours. You've already done 90 hours. Says you're delinquent 80. Should have already done 90. That's my point. You're acting like, hey, it's not a big deal. I can get it done. Exactly. It's not a big deal. You should have gotten it done. I know I know it's good that it doesn't say that you're missing probation. It doesn't say that. That's good. But it does say that you smoking weed and you're not working your community service. I'm responsible for every one of those conditions. I can't say, we're going to do, 18 out of 20 this month and call it good. It's not how probation works. It's not. And you knew that when you signed up for it. You stood up here, you read the probation conditions, you said, I'll do that. I will do that. And now I'm telling you, you're not doing that. And I'm asking you, what are we going to do about you not doing that? I want to know.
Let me go home.
What are we gonna do? Whatever we do.
What do you think I should do? What do you think the right thing is to do? You think I should just look the other way while you smoke weed and don't do your probation?
No.
Okay.
I'll do hair follicle, I'll do whatever else I need to do. Come twice a week, at least twice a week. You can double up my hours, fine. I don't care what I do. I tell you this, I don't mind going to jail on weekends, whatever, but I have a class every weekend until March 3rd. So I literally can't miss any of those classes or I don't pass on.
And what class is that?
Dude, he's burnt to
The second
shit.
repeat offender class is. So I have that class plus my AA, or, the little meetings I have to do, plus my actual counseling, which I have to pick up too, so.
All right. So you're going to finish that up on March 3rd?
Yes, March
That
3rd,
weekend.
I get done with that, or I was looking on my phone right now, but I could tell you March 3rd should be the last day, I think, for that.
Well, look on your phone. Let's figure that out.
March 3rd, Friday, and 9/3, my last day.
Last day for repeat offender.
We'll brief you there.
Okay. And then When did you say you do your counseling?
I still have to manage it through the weekend, like, I still do it on the weekends too. Is, it's really just because I can't cut any time out of my, like today, I was in some hot water for cutting out today, like, my week time is very limited at all. I mean, I drill, so like, without me there, it's a big hassle for everybody.
Okay, do you understand that the only reason you're here today is because what you've done?
Yes,
You understand that you're here today, not because I'm making you be here, because you're making me make you be here. Does that make sense? If you were doing your community service and we're smoking weed, you'd be on the rig right now and you'd be reporting and doing probation, and I wouldn't be in your life. Your probation officer, y'all be handling all that. But when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, they have to come report it to me. It's their job. And so the reason you're here today is because of the decisions you make. All right. So I hear what you're saying, but the more you talk, the more it makes it sound like, man, what a huge inconvenience this is to you. And it is a huge inconvenience, but you're the one that put yourself here. Okay. So I want to be clear about that. All right. So what we're going to do, I'm going to sanction you for the marijuana and for the community service. I'm going to sanction you to 3 days in jail. I'm going to let you do that on the weekend. We're going to put that after your repeat offender class. I'm going to have you come back on Tuesday, March 28th. And I want you to do your 3 days in jail on I'll let you pick the weekend. You want to do it? Look at your phone. Look at your phone. Look at your calendar. What does your shift look like? Are you week on, week off, 2 weeks? What do you do?
oh, no, I'm month straight, I don't come back. The only reason I come back is for this, you said March, you want me back March 28th? Record?
I want you back March 28th to board. So tell me, when do you want to do? I need you to go in on a Friday night at 8. I'm gonna let you out on Sunday at 8.
At 8 or not?
8 p.
Okay, yeah. Just, I mean, what, record that 28th, do you want? I can
10th,
just do-
17th to 24th.
I can just do the 31st, I mean, the rest of that, that weekend.
No, I want you to do it before you come to jail, because that way, if you come back, I want you to do your jail time before you come back to court.
Oh, do it before?
Yeah, so look at the weekend, the 10th, 17th, and 24th.
Oh, let's just do we do the 24th and then knock it out and be here 28th. That way I'll just take all 4 of those days and say I was.
You want me to have you go through the 27th? You want to go in on Saturday, do Saturday, Sunday, Monday?
Yeah, that would be,
All right, let's
that'd be great too.
All right, let's do that. So we'll say 3:25. We'll go in. That's a Saturday. We'll go in at. Let's go in at 8 a.m. on that Saturday. And then we'll let you out on Monday at 8 a.m. And then you can come see me the next day. And so, and I want at least 10 hours of community service, at least 10. I know it's gonna be tough, but I'm not saying 20, I'm not saying 30, at least 10. Okay? All right. So do you have a notice of appearance? And Rachel, can you get me an order of commitment for those dates? March 25th, 8 a.m. to March 27th, 8 a.m. So that I can get him a copy of that. And when you show up, you gotta have your ID.
No, I've never done it, not here, I've done it in the Smith, but I've never done it here.
Yeah, so you'll take this order of commitment, you'll take a photo ID.
So I
So,
just go to the.
yeah, you just take that out to the jail up there and they'll book you in and book you out. So she's gonna get the paperwork done up. I'm gonna give you this notice of appearance. Yeah. Let me get that. You've already been up there.
Okay, so he just goes to jail now. That's about it. He gets remanded and he gets sanctioned. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Laura, could you bring me the Joshua Folsom stuff? I don't think I brought it in here. Thank you, John.
Watch what Middleton says. Come on. You go to court like that? What a jerk.
I think you just, it has to be.
Yeah, we had one somewhere. I'm not sure. It's probably
I didn't know if you had.
in my jury
Okay, I'll go check in there.
file. Thanks. If not, I'll come on before. Thank you, Mr. Robert. I think we've gone through all the felonies, and thank you also for helping us with this misdemeanor case.
That guy looks like he had a rough night. Oh my God.
Mr. Folsom, I'm sorry to get you up early today to do this, but let's see if we can.
This was like 11 o'clock. It wasn't even like 8:30 a.m. It was 11 o'clock when I was recording this. It was 11 a.m. Sound.
Well, I'm glad you're not here because whatever you got, I don't want.
Right.
Well, that was my mother-in-law.
All right, well, that's not helpful. All right.
Look at him, he's passing out. Come on, you yawned that much. How can he be that tired? Give me a break.
This is file number 221908SM. People versus Joshua Lee Folsom. Is that you, sir?
Yeah.
Your lawyer, Melissa Halleck, is here with me, and I appreciate her being here on very short notice on your behalf. She's here live. Also present is Chief Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Joshua Robert. You are set for a jury trial tomorrow on a charge of larceny over 200, but less than 1,000. The allegation is that you did commit the offense of larceny by stealing an iPhone with a purple cover that belonged to Maria Sanchez, the value of which was more than 200, but less than 1,000. As I indicated, that matter is set for a preliminary or for a jury trial tomorrow. We have 36 jurors scheduled to be here. Earlier today, I received an email from Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Deborah Davis. She's agreed to reduce this charge to larceny less than $200 with full restitution and a recommendation for time served at the time of sentencing. The restitution for the phone would be $499.99, and you have 5 days of jail credit. Ms. Halleck, is that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Joshua, are you going to plead guilty to the lesser included charge of larceny under $200?
Yes, sir.
Did anyone threaten you to get you to do that
No, sir.
or promise you anything?
No, sir.
Do you understand that if you do plead to this charge, you will be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. Ms. Halleck has been appointed to represent you. You could also hire an attorney of your own choosing if you wished. If you had a trial, you'd have a right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court so they could be questioned under oath. You would have the right to take the witness stand yourself and testify, but you don't have to because you have a right not to testify. And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right.
He's falling asleep. Oh my God. What are those sounds?
This happened in Sturgis on September 4th
Talking louder.
2022 at about 6 o'clock at night. Were you at the party store on September 4th?
Yes, sir.
And this lady, if I understand it, was at the counter and she set her purple iPhone down. And did you pick it up and take it,
Yes, sir.
put it in your pocket, and then left the building?
Yes, sir.
What did you ultimately do with the phone?
I don't know. I ended up losing it or something.
All right. To you. And will you accept that it's worth $499.99?
Yes, sir.
Now, the prosecutor is recommending no additional jail time. That's not up to them, that's up to me. And I'm willing to certainly consider it. All right, thank you. Your problem is you owe me a bunch of other money and you haven't been paying on it. So I'm reluctant to give you a fine when you don't pay on the fines that you have. You and I discussed this earlier. You also have another case pending. Maybe not. You owe me money in file 202413. You pled to disturbing the peace. You were to pay $350 by February 15th and of 2021, and you paid none. In file 22130, you pled guilty in front of Judge Pattison in June of 22.
Oh, there.
No valid operator's
Holy
license.
good.
You ordered to pay $325 or 3 days in jail. Judge Pattison specifically said that by July 15th, and you didn't pay that. And so you owe a lot of money and you haven't paid it. You've also got a bunch of booking fees, which I'm going to wipe out. You owe $1,303. So I'm going to set this for sentencing. And if you don't pay on those things, I'm going to wipe it out with some jail time. But you got a fine in 2020, you paid $0. You got a fine in 2022, you paid $0. and I don't know if you've ever paid a booking fee, and you stole this lady's phone, which is a huge, giant inconvenience. And then fumbled it away somehow. When it came to getting out of jail, you were able to come up with bond money as opposed to when you get a fine from the court. So I'm gonna, go ahead.
I get my taxes on February 16th.
All right, well, let's go out a little bit. Melissa, it seems like I've dragged you in here in early March.
Yeah. I think I have one set on
Somebody's whispering to him. They were whispering. Wake up.
11.
Comb your hair.
Maybe.
Yes, let's set it for March 6th at 11. We're gonna be busy that day.
It looks like he's in
But
the.
I want to see whether you walk the walk or talk the talk. So, first sentence. 3/6/23 at 11, live at the courthouse. Are you still at the Portage Avenue address in Three Rivers?
Yes, sir.
All right, you stay in contact with your lawyer. You owe 325 in one case and 350 in the other, and so far you've paid nada. So we'll see what you can accomplish between now and then, and that could make the difference between going to additional jail or not. You're also gonna owe $500 of restitution for this lady's phone. But you'll get the notice for that. Do you have any questions?
Do I gotta come to court tomorrow still though?
No, you don't. That's a good question. You do not need to be here tomorrow. We're gonna call the jurors off. And you do not need to be here tomorrow.
Oh,
Stay in contact with your lawyer. Your next court date is March 6th.
Oh my God.
Okay.
It's the worst hack I've ever heard.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Melissa.
Didn't I tell you that was
We'll
gonna
have a jury trial
fantastic.
tomorrow.
Oh, that was
We're
beautiful.
working on the instructions.
All right, here we go. El Paso's not disappointing once again. Let's go to the El Paso Magistrate Court.
Before we begin the hearing.
Sir, I would like to speak to Mr. Bedell if I could.
All right. Well,
all right, this was before I got the El Paso. I hit record on accident, and I caught Miss Morgan over here, and it was like it wasn't hot mic. It was a hot video. Oh my God, she's a train wreck.
put you two in a breakout room briefly.
Sexy.
Oh, look at her! Look at her downing her bang. Look at her! Oh my God! Oh, good Lord! All right, let's get to El Paso.
Fully judged.
All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. Let's do it. Look at those superb editing skills. Middle-aged man editing. It's fantastic. All right, here we go. Oh, hey there, sexy boy.
Ma'am, this is Mr. Gill.
Okay.
Look at him.
Miss Martinez, tell me about Mr. Gill and what's happened, I guess, since the last time that he was released?
Oh, he's picking his nose. Come on.
I'm listening very carefully, Judge, too.
Sorry, Judge, may I have a second, please?
Yes, okay.
Judge,
Yes.
he does have his arraignment on his ODO case on the 10th in the 171st.
Oh.
And this, well, at least from what I saw, it's
Mhm.
the theft from the 20th of December that triggered the violation.
I apologize. I wasn't able to call the orientation. I was I had left.
A message?
I had left the rescue mission,
What?
but I did register. I came back the next day and they said I couldn't register for 30 days.
Did you stay? How long did you stay there?
About a couple of hours, but I left because I had a friend that offered me a job.
Okay.
And I came back the next day and the manager, the skinny guy there, told me that I wasn't able to come back for the next 30 days.
Okay.
I did go back to the OC and they had said that they had put
Did they let you go to the OC though? I thought that there was I thought that you could not go there.
I did go to the OC and they put a restraining order on me.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird.
All right.
But I've been beat up out on the street.
So Ms. Martinez, I remember when I know that we already talked about how he couldn't go to the OC and that's why we worked out, I guess, the rescue mission.
I'm not sure if the rescue mission was telling the truth or not. I'm not sure because I didn't.
All right. Well, let us talk a little bit about what we're gonna try and do here with you, okay?
Yeah, I had a job offering already.
All right. Let us talk for a minute, okay? All right. So Ms. Martinez, when he was released the last time, it was to the rescue mission. Did we have any other
Yes.
So this last time that he was released, Judge, was January 3rd, and that
Mhm.
was under standard supervision. He was seen to be staying at the rescue mission, and he just had the condition commit no new offenses and provide contact information.
Warning for everybody.
And that was for all three cases that he was PR'd for. They did submit the notices of violation
to Judge Gonzalez? Is that
Yes.
what you're-
Well, so they sent in a notice of violation for the 2022 0C06154, and I'm seeing a admonishment set. And it said contact court ASAP to get an admonishment hearing. But I don't see any note about a date.
So it was, they submitted the VN, he didn't take any action and said to set it for admonishment?
Yes, Judge, it said to set for to contact the court for a hearing ASAP. But the only hearing I see is for the 27th for an arraignment. So I'm not sure what happened there.
So then did he issue a warrant after that? Or did he miss the arraignment or what? How did we get back here, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
I don't know, Judge. Let me check on that. I see the KPS, but I don't see any notes as to why the warrant was issued.
And then, Mr. Chevrier, is the possession brand new from time of arrest on these OCO warrants?
Unfortunately, it is, Judge.
Okay. What to do? Let me look at-
So I found a note, Judge. They were going to issue. The officer had a conversation with Kathy, the coordinator, on the 10th of January, where she was following up with a notice of violation she had submitted. They were going to try and set him for a hearing the next day at 10 a.m. The officer advised that they were going to try and locate him at the rescue mission. And to the attorney, And then the judge also asked if he was compliant with the felony case, and the officer advised her he was not, because he hasn't reported since he was released from the jail, and she had no contact information. And Catherine told her that the judge said he would sign the warrant once the felony warrant is issued.
I just had a job.
Is there a felony warrant
Make some money to
issued?
buy a phone. I'm working on that, getting my ID though.
Is there a, if you know, is there a felony warrant that issued?
I don't see one, Judge, but I know that there was a notice of violation that was going to be sent.
So and that one is out of the 171st. Do you know, Ms. Guerrero, who are the PD attorneys assigned to the 171st?
Let me see if I can find it quickly.
Because they need to jump in there and try and help. Only because I mean I think that we all know where that's going.
Like a bunch of yard work. I'm putting clothes out of this garbage can, trying to get them washed and stuff. It's not going so well.
So at some point, Mr. Gill, because you do have a case that is pending out of a court with another judge, she's going to issue a warrant because of the PR bond violations. And then at that point, you'll need to go in front of her so that she can make a decision as to what to do.
I'm not able to pay them if I don't have any money.
No, I know that's why I'm trying to figure something out on our end, but
And then this last one, they arrested me for like some guy called and said I stabbed him, but
don't tell it. We're aware of why they arrested you. Don't tell us too much about it. Let me see if you've got any activity in that other court.
I was working there right then and there. Like I didn't try to stab anybody. I was trying to sell some clothes, man.
So he's got the trial track. That's normal.
I don't sell for large amounts of money, like $1 a piece, quarter.
So this is what we're gonna do, sir. So I'm not gonna make any findings today. I'm gonna leave these bonds where they're at for now. And then after you go in front of the judge in the 171st, your attorneys will set you up back here with us, okay?
It's Adam Loving, Judge.
Okay, send him a message. Tell him to kind of get on it, please. This is gonna turn into a disaster. Okay, all right, sir. So I'm gonna cancel the hearings for today. That way you can go in front of Judge Renhel with your attorney, Mr. Loving, and then after that, we will come back and tackle these cases, okay?
You got a red
Thank you,
hell
sir. Have a
drop.
good day.
Red hell drop. Bonnie.
We're gonna relocate them.
Thank you, sir.
All right, last clip. The Judge Bryant, softer side that I promised.
You've given me, and I'm hoping for a short sentence, but I'm not going to go back to the casino until my probation is up.
All right. So this is what I think, Miss Flint. Now, I don't know how old you actually are, but what I know is just looking at you from my vantage point, I feel like you've lived long enough to be able to go to the casino if you want to. If you don't think you have a problem. So, you know, the disassociated persons list was always interesting to me. It was, you know, something that people do voluntarily, and it's good. I mean, it's good to have a mechanism that forces us to do something if we have a problem. Like I've had to, you know, fight my sweets addiction on my own because it's no place that'll make it illegal if I go buy some snacks. So me going to the doctor and me stepping on the scale and the doctor saying, you got to do this, this, and this in order to not, you know, have the long-term effects of diabetes and all that. So I've had to force myself. It was no list I could put myself on. But had I put myself on a list for snacks, I would hope they would let me take myself off the list if I wanted to. And so since you have taken yourself off the list, and you are now off the list, I am going to impose the following sentence. I'm going to impose a delayed sentence for a term of 2 months, setting a final review date for April the 6th of, oh no, the court is closed. April 5th. I'm going to just set it for April 5th. Well, before I set that review date, I am going to impose the fines and costs. And then I want you to tell me how long it's going to take you to pay before I before I set that review date. So I am going to impose the mandatory cost of $210 and a $150 fine for a total of $360. Now, how long will it take you to pay $360? If I set a review date for April 5th, would you be able to pay it by then, or would you need more time?
I would be able to pay it by then, Your Honor.
All right, so then I'm going to set the review date for April 5th at 9:45. I'm not going to impose any other conditions, Ms. Flint. So whereas I normally would say that you cannot enter into the casino while you're on probation, I'm not going to say that at this time because I'm not ordering you to do any gamblers counseling or anything. So if you want to go to the casino, you can, as long as it's not an issue for you, as long as you don't go in there and just gamble away your $360. Now, when you go to the casino, you go after you pay this $360.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, don't go in there and lose the $360, because I'll be on the penny slot all night, and next thing you know, you look up and they give you you win $100, and now you negative $100. That slot machine don't go on that slot machine. Don't do it. All right.
I was a data entry, Your Honor. I was a data entry operator, and the slot machine seemed so much like a entry machine.
Oh, so you
I
don't
think
even.
that's how I got.
That's how you got carried away.
But
Miss Flint, whenever I go to Las Vegas and I say, because I'm too cheap to gamble big, and I put my little, $10 in the penny slot machine, and then they get you because you pay it, you actually end up playing all the other lines, and so it really be more than a penny. And then by the time you win $100, then you get excited. The next thing you know, you lose your $100, your $10. I can't fool with it. I can't fool with it, Miss Flint.
Well,
Your Honor, just so you're aware, the casino makes more money on their penny slots than they do on any other machine or game in the entire casino.
I know, because they get us. Because Mr. Hayes, it's a bait and switch. You go on the penny slot. Now, if you just on there for the noise and the lights and stuff, and you like the little sound when they pretend like you win, and if you stick with playing, first of all, if you stick with just playing a penny, you're not going to win anything anyway. And then they just take all your pennies. And so, Mr. Hayes, you are probably correct, because we're too cheap to play the quarter slot machine. But we're too cheap to play the quarter slot machine. But then by the time you play all the lines on the penny slot, you paying 50 cents. See, it's a bait and switch. It's a bait and switch. Anyway, Miss Flint, I hope you don't have a gambling problem to the point where it will take away from your comfortable living. And that is the reason for the disassociated persons list. People who have a problem gambling, they put themselves on that list to keep them out of the casino. You have taken yourself off the list, which means you were on it for more than 5 years. And so hopefully, in counsel with your family, you will gamble responsibly. You will gamble responsibly. So we're going to be all set until April the 5th at 9:45, and if you paid the $360, then you will be all set. I will discharge you from probation and dismiss the case, okay?
Okay.
All right, have a great day, Stacy.